Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I make Animal Crossing videos every single week. So if you're into that, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. Last week we created our beach bar, which I will leave a link to that video in the time cards on top. And in today's video, we will be creating another double neighborhood featuring Marshall and Filbert. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Here is the area that we will be working on. It is a pretty large area. I already went ahead and marked off where I'll be placing the houses. This area is next to the overgrown entrance that I created a couple of videos ago, so I'm just connecting that area to this one. So since this area is such a large area, my first thought was to add a lot of waterscaping and add a bridge to kind of fill up the space. The only problem that I had was the fact that I have two entrances, one on this side where the overgrown entrance is and the other one that's by my airport. So I had to really think about how I was going to connect these two areas together, but also try to make them separate. For one, the ponds will fill up the space, and two, it just looks super tropical when you have a lot of water going on your island. I'm going to be doing that, and I also created some cliffs to block off the surrounding area. I thought I was going to add a third home here, which if you saw already, I mapped out a 4x4 because I thought I was going to add Cleo here, but I'm thinking of making a little mini tiki house there and use the pond design to make it look like it's on top of the water, but I'll save that for a future Luna to do. So since I didn't move Cleo's house, she's the last one that I have left to move. And then of course I'm going to be remodeling my house because I don't know, I kind of want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to keep the under the sea castle look, but I'm going to change the front of my house, or I might actually change the location of my house. I've been playing around with the area, and no matter what I do to kind of connect the areas together, it just doesn't look right to me. And so maybe if I move it to a different location, that maybe it will look a little bit better, but that's another project that I'm trying to fix along with everything else on my island. And then I have a bunch of small little spaces that I need to fill in, so I'll probably do a few small spaces builds. I know a lot of you guys love when I create them because it helps you guys come up with some ideas for your island. And then after that, I only have a few more big sections left to decorate, so hopefully I can come out with my island tour by next month or by my birthday month, which is June. I've already saved some new custom designs for the next island that I'll be doing, which the theme is Fairyforest. And it was only because when I was looking for designs for this island, I kept coming across really great designs for the next island, which is always the case for me when I'm trying to find design codes for my current island. I end up finding designs for my future islands. But yeah, I already have in mind what I'm going to be wearing, and it's the glowy moss dress with maybe a green mum crown. I think that combination would be super perfect for that theme. For the shoes, I'm still looking to see which one I want, but the ideas are just flowing and I can't wait to start that island. I have to actually sit down and come up with some island names, and then when I do, I have to go and create a poll on my community tab so that you guys can vote on the island name. If you have any island names suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I take everyone's suggestions to consideration because you guys know what you're doing, unlike me. And sometimes you guys see things that I don't see. So that's why I'm like, I need my besties' help. But stay tuned for the poll. This is super random, but I can't get this song out of my head. The song by North, which goes like, "It's your bestie, Miss Westie. Don't try to test me. It's gonna get messy." I can't with myself. I can't even say bestie without my mind getting triggered and singing this song. But anyways, before I have a little party by myself, let's get back to the build. So I'm just decorating this little pathway using the log path and the grass path. I like using the log path for these tighter spaces because it allows me to add flowers, bushes, any items in between. If I were to add the grass path, I would not be able to add any of the flowers or bushes. So that's why it's good to have a little log path in your custom design app. Oh, and by the way, I'm not just going to be decorating this area, I'm also going to be decorating the cliffs that you see behind their houses. I wasn't going to do it, but then I was like, I should, because when you start adding the trees and other items in the mix, everything just starts to come together. And I just start envisioning the coconut trees in the back, making it look super tropical. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. At this point in time, I had no idea what I was going to be decorating up there. I literally just told myself that I was going to decorate it. And I usually design everything before I start recording just to make my life a lot easier. But I thought to myself, well, if it's ugly, then it's ugly. But I had no idea what I was going to put up there. I just had to just go on in and do it. And a lot of the times when you're designing an area, if you haven't decorated it yet, you will start to think that the area looks ugly because it's empty. And that happens to me a lot, but I just keep going. And if after decorating it looks ugly, then it is what it is. But 9 out of 10 times, once you start decorating the area, it looks way better than what you expected. Behind this area is my secret beach, so I have to figure out how I'm going to connect this area with that one, but that is for future Luna to figure out. Also, side note, did you guys get to see the eclipse? I actually saw it for the first time ever in my entire life, and it was so cool to look at. I was trying to take pictures of it, but my phone was not picking it up, and I was trying to put the glasses in front of the phone camera and try to take a picture that way, and it was coming out super grainy. And I was like, you know what, I guess this is just meant for me to experience it, keep it as a memory, and that's it. But if you guys got to see it, let me know how your experience went. Okay, so we're on the first cliff, and for this one I was debating if I want to make it walkable so that you guys can come up here or just kind of crowd it up. So I was like, you know what, let me make it a little bit of both. So I started to fluff up the front area with some trees and some items, and then I noticed that I had so much space left, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to add a little river that leads to a little waterfall by Marshal's house, and that will fill in the space here. And then behind his house I got the idea to have like a little secret area if you want to come up here. So I decided to use the pond path and create like a little pond here, and then add a little seating area. I'll probably add a mum cushion so that you guys can come up here and snap some pictures when my dream address gets released. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue filling in the empty spaces with some custom designs, weeds, and glowing mosses. Those are my go-to when I have any empty spaces and I don't know what to do. I go back and add my little small custom designs, which I will leave all of the design codes that I use in this video in the description below. Now for Filbert's side, I'm going to do the same thing that I did on Marshall's side and do it on this side, but a little bit different. On Filbert's side, I decided to use more bigger items like the moai statue, the shell bed, and a giant vine. I love those items because they take up more space, so it will fill up the empty spaces for me so I don't have to think about it. And the empty spaces that I do see, I will be adding flowers and doing the same thing I did for Marshall's side and add a waterfall. If I didn't add the waterfall on the map, the cliffs look super sharp and it bothered me, so I was like, I'm gonna add waterfalls to both sides. So yeah, I'm almost done with the build. I still have one more small little cliff left to decorate and we will be completely done. The little cliff, I wasn't trying to do a lot. I was going to add a tree, but I felt like it was going to be a little bit too much, so I just added a few small items, and then I went back and added these star fragments around the area. Here is how the whole build ended up looking. When I tell you that I am completely obsessed with this double neighborhood, I think this double neighborhood is the best double neighborhood that I have ever created. This area connects so well with the entrance that I created. Here is a close-up view of the front of their yard. Here is Filbert's side and here is Marshall's side. Here is a little close-up of the little secret area in the back of Marshall's house. I can't be the only one that pushes their villager out the way when they're trying to take a picture. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. I love you all always. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!